The NFL this past week announced that if there were to be an outbreak of COVID among unvaccinated players, that team would forfeit the game. This is a stark contrast to how the COVID was treated last season, where if there was a COVID outbreak, the game would be postponed until the player or team could clear the COVID protocols. My question to you is, do you believe that forfeiting a game is a fair way to address the COVID situation this season in the NFL?
Sadly to say, yeah. I would say like it's because they have a vaccine, which I don't believe in taking, but it's each its own. And if you're careful and you don't catch the virus and you're able to play, then cool. But if you're careless and you allow yourself to catch the virus, you're saying that's on you. And then you pass it on to your teammates, and now y'all don't have enough players to play the game. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like forfeit is the way to go, and I don't see anything wrong with that. Just like last year when you had the Steelers and the Titans games being forfeited, or not forfeited, but pushed back because motherfuckers catching COVID. Somebody just had to forfeit, should have just forfeited that game. So
I think forfeiting is the right way to go unless someone presents me a better option. When it really boils down with it, everyone makes money off the games that people watch. Another thing that you have to take in consideration, if you forfeit and push the game back, when are you going to push it back to? It takes football players a week to recover. So you're going to push it back in the middle of Wednesday, and you're not going to give them that week to recover the way they need to. As a professional athlete, they're saying, hey, make sure you get vaccinated, and then this will happen. It's your choice if you want to get vaccinated or not, and teach your own. But if you want the games to continue, just hurry up, get that vaccine.
Okay, so no, I do not think this is a fair way to go about doing the COVID protocols. I believe if you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. I believe if you have an outbreak of COVID with an unvaccinated player, that unvaccinated player cannot play. The rest of the team will play. And once that player clears the COVID protocols, he can come back. I don't think the game needs to be forfeited. You have a 52-man roster. Go ahead and put that next string guy up there to fill in that slot. This person didn't want to get vaccinated. They got to go ahead and do what they got to do. Because if I get vaccinated, right, and I still get COVID, the team doesn't forfeit. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to force the vaccine onto everybody, whereas you're not giving them that choice. I don't think this is fair.
I think, Tony, you misunderstanding the meaning of outbreak. When they say outbreak, I'm thinking it means like majority of the team, at least like a good portion of the team. You know what I'm saying? Between unvaccinated players. So if one player gives another player contaminated, then they get another player contaminated. There's too many people, and then you have to forfeit the team because now you don't have enough players to play the positions or whatever. So that is why you should forfeit the game. If one player gets it, it's not considered an outbreak. You know, so one player gets it, so he just sits out, which is cool. Just treat like an injury. But if one person gets it and it costs the rest of the team of unvaccinated players to get it, then yes, you should forfeit.
I mean, like I said, unless something's better done. But again, people pay money to watch athletes play a sport. And again, if you're unable to make it because you physically can't make it and it's not your fault, like an injury, that's okay. But if you already know, since it's 52 people, think about how many other people you have to deal with every day. It's over 100 plus. You're trying to tell me without having the vaccination, you're not going to get COVID at some point. So I think it's just a little careless. Just get the vaccine if that's what you want to do.
All right, so Davi, I'm well aware what an outbreak means. However, what they didn't do was identify what exactly they're counting as an outbreak. Is it one? Is it two players? Is it one player? They didn't say one or two. It could be one as an outbreak of unvaccinated players. My point is, if it happens to a vaccinated player, they do not have to forfeit the game. If it's an unvaccinated, they said unvaccinated explicitly. So if it's unvaccinated, they don't have to forfeit. They'll just sub and play those guys in. They're forcing the vaccine on the ones who don't want to. That's why it's not fair.
Okay, I agree with that. It's not fair. It's not fair that they're trying to throw the vaccine at people. But again, if players do catch the virus and in order to get from order to get another team sick, then they should have to forfeit the game.
We all can agree they're kind of pushing it, but at the same time, they got to protect their brand. They got to protect their moneymaker, and players, that's what they make money off of playing. So I think it's kind of fair.
All right. Again, I do not believe it's fair. I believe that majority of these guys aren't high risk, right? So if we're saying that the high risk people are overweight or like obese and they have underlying conditions, I think that the NFL elite players aren't in that category for the most part.
What they gonna do if Patrick Mahomes gets sick? They gonna shut down the league.
So Patrick Mahomes here's my thing. COVID, they're saying you catch the COVID, right? You'll be down for X amount of time. What is it like? They got 14 days you'll be down or sick or whatnot.
I think it's less now.
Yeah, it's like 7 days or some shit like that, right? For the Galaxy system.
Yeah.
If you're worried about someone dying, that they're not in the category of people who are going to die or be hospitalized unless they have an underlying health condition. So if you have an underlying health condition, it makes sense for you to get the vaccine. If you are not overweight, you are in shape, and you choose not to get vaccinated, you're not in the high risk category for playing the sport. If you were to catch the flu, let's say this, you were to catch the flu, you wouldn't be able to play, right? You would be at a risk of being contagious to the people that are on your team. You could also be hospitalized. My thing is this: they're forcing it. It's political. It's not about fairness. It's about politics, and I don't trust it. You're trying to force people who have the right to choose do they want to do it or do they not. And then if they say, and now if you want to say, hey, in order to play, you got to be vaccinated, that's one thing. But I still be in the same boat and saying that that's not right, But it is what it is. The question is, do I think it's fair? No, I do not. I think you sit the person who gets sick, they get better, you bring them back in, the team doesn't have to forfeit. You sit the player or players.
But it depends how many players. I agree with
That's
that.
The thing. They left it open like that so that they can tell you, your team, with your an outbreak is just somebody getting sick. That's an outbreak. Someone was sick. There was an outbreak of COVID. One person getting sick, right? So if that one unvaccinated person got sick, forfeit. But this is why I say it's not fair. If I'm vaccinated, and this is why they're pressing the CDC to release the stats on people who have been vaccinated and still caught COVID, right? Because there was, I don't even know if I can talk about this on camera, but there was a certain number of people that I worked with who returned from working, already being vaccinated, and then out of those, at least 7 people were said to still have caught the COVID again. You see what I'm saying? That's my point is this: if it's a vaccinated outbreak, I was vaccinated, the team doesn't have to forfeit. But if you're unvaccinated, you have to forfeit. That's where it's not fair.
It's a vaccine, not a cure. You know what I'm saying? Just because you get the vaccine don't mean you're not gonna get the virus.
Sir.
I agree with you.
So if you're gonna make that the rule, it has to be across the board if you're that concerned with it. Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, the people who think that just because you get the vaccine don't mean you can't get the virus again. It's it's not, I'm saying it's not a cure. It's a vaccine. Like, just like a vaccine for fucking the flu. You can get the flu again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I was getting at. I'm like, it's not fair because if I'm vaccinated, the team is good, but if I'm not vaccinated, the team is not good. That's where you're trying to force it versus letting the powers that be. I mean, letting what it is be what it is.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I guess they trying to kill motherfuckers off, bro. That's all.
Sound like it. But
they trying to make it a white football league.
But yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Y'all got anything for the show for the closeout?
Yeah, stay black, stay beautiful, people. Bow.
All right. You got anything more? So you good? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He muted.
Oh, my bad. I was talking about shit. Nah, I'm good. Just everyone have a safe week, and I'll see y'all next week.
Gang. All right, that's all I got. I'll catch y'all next week.
Out.
Hey.
Thanks for watching this clip of That's Debatable. I'm Tony T. Be sure to give this video a like and comment your views down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how you felt about the video. But if you really want to support the channel, give this video a like and watch more clips by selecting the video to the left and to the right of me here.